Welcome everybody. Like I said, this video I will be showing you the boxes. This is everything that's gone into my gaming computer. This is the second computer I've ever built, and as to say, this computer is built without budget. But still built by me, so it is cheaper than something I would go out and buy pre-built. Let's start off with the motherboard. I went with the 990 FX-8350V2. It can take, this is the MSI motherboard, military class 2 components. It takes the AMD FX-8350. This is an 8-core processor, and it's AMD's first 8-core 4 GHz processor. I currently have that clocked to 4.73 GHz. On the motherboard, I have filled it with 32 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance RAM. This is DDR3 RAM with a latency of 9. Then I will be showing you down here the power supply. I went with the 80 Plus Gold series, 1250 watt OCZ. This is the same one Linus was whining about with coil whine. I do not have the coil whine that Linus was talking about. Must be my video cards do not create the coil whine alongside this OCC power supply. This is a great power supply. It is ready for me to throw in up to 4 video cards. This MSI motherboard does take SLI 4-way. Now the CPU cooler, I went with the H100. I didn't know too much about CPU coolers and liquid cooling, but this is a closed unit and it was a good solution for me, an easy solution at the time. I did follow Linus's advice and went with the SP120. This is the high performance edition. I currently have 4 of these fans doing a push-pull configuration on the Corsair H100. Like I said, I went with some dual SLI 680. These are the 4 gigabyte editions. Twin froza 680. Twin froza 680. These are the 2 boxes that I have. I'm thinking about adding a third one of the same card. People ask, why do I do the 4 gigabytes? Well, I'm preparing myself for games that might use that much more RAM. I'm only playing in 1080 now, but I might upgrade to NVidia 3D Vision, which could take more VRAM. Now, as far as input devices, I had to buy a D-Link 4-port USB 2.0 hub with 2.5 amps of current going to the 5-volt USB. That is the only way I could get my MSI motherboard to recognize my Cool Master Quickfire TK mechanical keyboard with Cherry MX Blue switches. This is a fully backlit keyboard. Now I think it had to do with the N key rollover, which was the reason why it would not power up. So I had to buy this hub to get that keyboard to power up. This is a mechanical gaming keyboard and I'm in love with it. It is my first mechanical gaming keyboard. This is my first high DPI mouse. This is a SteelSeries Sensi. It's the basic Sensi. It does have the light up features, macros, all the good stuff you would want in a mouse, a gaming mouse. It has no lag to it. It's responsive. Okay, now I'm gonna just pack this all into one video. I said I was gonna do 3 videos, but I'm gonna show you the computer that I built. I'm gonna go on and tell you that the case box I threw out. I do not have it. This is a manufacturer in-win case. It is $129 on Newegg. It is sort of a cheap case, but it has all the ventilation you could need in a case. And I'm not planning on picking up my case and carrying it around and doing LAN parties, so I'm not worried about the structural rigidity of my case. So I went with a cheaper case. This is an in-win case. It is Dragon Rider is the model. Now, the reason why I went with this case is because this really caught my eye over here. It had a CPU fan on the back of the case, and I just wanted to see how that would work out. I don't really see that much in cases. I thought it was a good idea. Up here I will show you, these are the SP fans by Corsair. Doing the push-pull configuration, I currently have the blue rings locked in. Top-mounted radiators. This case was perfect for what I was using it for. With the push-pull configuration, as you can see in there, the fans on the radiator. That is the H100 cooler pump on my CPU. I got a blue LED fan in the back. That is my Creative Fatatily Soundblast X5 Creative Fatatily Pro sound card with 256 megabytes of RAM on it. These are my video cards in SLI. You can see I used the black SLI link. You can barely see it there. Blends in nice. Power supplies on the bottom. And let me just give you a pan out of the whole thing. So that is the side of my computer and what it looks like. Like I said, this is the first time I've really tried to do a neat job on cable management. And those are my hard drives down there. 2 500s and a terabyte. With my SSDs, 1, 2. One SSD up here. 2 SSD. Those are Intel 520 series SSDs. One's a 120 gig, one's a 180 gig. One I use for my primary operating system, one I use for just the video games. Here is the RAM. That is what 32 gigabytes of RAM looks like, in case you were wondering. There's the LEDs on the motherboard showing that all 8 cores are on. And yeah, so this is my computer. It's nice. It's my second computer I've ever built, like I said. Here's the side that came with it. I'm currently using this fan. I might look for a little bit stronger of a fan because my video cards do get a little bit hot. Running an SLI does reduce your heat on the cards, depending on what game you're in though. I will say some games will still crank up the heat. Here is my fully backlit keyboard. Mechanical. in my mouse. Now, I went with the Asus router. It is wireless N. It is a 5 gigahertz router with 1 gigabyte wired LAN. So here's my Windows score. It was a 7.2. I believe my hard drive is getting slower because they're coming out with faster ones. Let's look at my 3D Mark 11 scores. Okay, you can currently see some jitteriness on the camera, sorry. Not trying to make anybody sick. X6524 overall score today. Just took it before this video. Now, like I did say, I did overclock to 4.73 gigahertz. First time overclocking. I did have some help with it from a friend, but I've taken it further since then. Graphics score 6446, physics score 7846, combined 6096 with the AMD FX-8350 682. Okay. Well, guys, just wanted to show you guys where I'm at here on the scores. And the similar scores, there's 27. Oh, here's my graphics card. It is an MSI. Running at 705 megahertz. That's the core clock, and the new Titan is said to run at like 800 megahertz core clock. This is me spinning my finger in the air. It is said that two 680s will beat a Titan in a bunch of different situations, but they never said if two 4 gigabyte 680s would beat the Titan in a bunch of situations. And I'm thinking that's really the one you want to compare it to. AM3 plus socket, 4.824 megahertz. I got clocked at 125 watts. I have like 157 watts going into it. Operating system 64, Windows 8. Yes, my RAM is clocked at 667 megahertz. If anybody wants to help me overclock my RAM, go ahead and leave some comments. My RAM is, because I know someone will ask, what is your RAM? And I can help. Well, it's Corsair Vengeance. I can try and give you a link, the real description below. That was my computer, guys. That was my score in 3D Mark. So let me know what you think. Leave some comments.